Here's a statement that I heard that is so profound. It literally changed my understanding of everything. And it's this. Jesus said, "The Father is greater than all." Now, at first blush, that sounds like Jesus is saying the Father is greater than himself. But let's break that down. Let's look at the context. You know, many people try to use this verse to say, well, if the Father is greater than all, then how can the Father and the Son be one? Because if they're both greater than all, then there would be two greatests. But let's look at John chapter 10, verses 29 to 30. I and the Father are one, Jesus says. So he's talking about his oneness with the Father. And what does that mean? That means that in essence, in his deity, he and the Father are one. But look at the next verse, John chapter 10, verse 31. The Jews took up stones again to stone him. So, okay, let's go to the next verse. John chapter 14, verse 28. You heard how I said to you, the Father is greater than all. So this is an instance where Jesus is actually saying something that is technically true, but could be misleading if we do understand the context. Because when did the Father become greater than all? Not in eternity past. Not in their oneness in deity, but when. Verse 28 tells us when, because in essence, in deity, they are one. But here, when Jesus was on earth, he was in a position of less than the Father. The Father was in heaven. Jesus was on earth, therefore in position only, not in essence. He is saying the Father is greater than all. So even when Jesus was on earth, he never stopped being God, but he took on the position of a servant. He took on the position of a son. He put on the garment of humanity in order to bridge the gap between God and man. Because if we look at ourselves, we look at our own hearts, and we look at God's heart, there's a vast difference between that which is holy and that which is sinful. There's a vast difference between the divine and the human, and only He who is both God and man could bridge that gap and become the way, the truth, and the life. So when we look at these statements, we have to look at the context. We have to look at the situation in which he said it, because sometimes he spoke in parables, sometimes he used illustrations, sometimes he used situations in order to teach us spiritual truths. But always, no matter what, he is God. No matter what, he is divine. No matter what, he is the Son of the living God. He is the Lord, to be praised forever. Amen.